Hi guys, Martin from Belief. In this video we're going to look at how to update global colors in Elementor. For example, a global color here across the top, the banner, the menu items, and various other assets throughout your website, including the footer. In fact, I think there's about 120 different colors that we apply. Now, the advantage of a global color is a single color that is applied to multiple assets, which means you can update a single palette profile or a single color, and it will update all those assets that inherit that particular color. There are a few things I'll discuss towards the end of this video that will make your life a little easier. Now, what you're looking at is the standard entry page that is delivered as part of the default framework. It's essentially our theme. Your website will take shape and branch off in different directions and do different things, and many sites are indistinguishable from what you see in front of you. However, that said, there are probably 7 or 8 people that use the variation of the standard framework that was delivered to them because it just performs, it does its job, and it's designed in a specific manner to convert. So an advantage, let's talk about a couple of the advantages of a standard default color palette. And if you're an ACL holder or a sub-aggregation group or an aggregation group or anybody that has brokers that work downline to them, we've got a facility within Yabber where you can effectively create a clone of your own website. And you can give that website to another individual, so it's hosted on their own domain. Either if it was, for example, Loan Market. Loan Market would have a standard website with blue and all sorts of stuff. They've got very strict brand guidelines, and blue would, that light, aqua blue, I guess, would be applied throughout all of the websites that they deliver. They don't do that, but if they did, that's the path that they would take. There are a lot of brokers that have BYO businesses. They have branded businesses that just inherited different locations. You might have ABC Finance Sydney, ABC Finance Western Sydney, ABC Finance Southern Sydney, and so on. And all those brands may take on a specific identity, so their brand may differ. Or you may have XYZ Finance, which is operating under your ACL, and their website will look entirely different. They're just operating under your authority or under your licensing, and they're part of your group. There's a whole bunch of different variations, obviously, that might apply. Now, the thing is, if you give somebody a website, certainly if they've got their own brand, they have to be able to update their colors and everything. At the very least, they will go through into the back end, and their website will, take on a shape that doesn't resemble your own, but certainly colors are core. Your brand colors are quite important. So we're going to look at how to change these colors within Yabber. Let's jump into Yabber. We're actually on the styles page now. To access styles of all types, select website management, and that will take us through to the primary website management entry page. There are about 7 or so pages here, or 6 or something. Use these little chevrons to cycle through the website pages. Similar or other modules have similar functionality, so just use that chevron. That'll take you to the next menu block and so on. Menus, the global styles are found here. This little tiny icon. Select that and it will direct you to a page where you can update a large number of styles. The first of which is the default sort of elemental colors. These are colors that are applied to your theme. Then we've got accordions, buttons, headings, modals. There's a review panel, and synchronize. Synchronize will synchronize all these styles other than the elemental style. Elemental styles, by the way, I'll just show you very quickly. If we jump into the back end of WordPress, there's a little option up here. So this is, we've edited a page and so on. You've got your blocks and things. These are all our blocks that we apply drag and drop functionality into your site, and makes building and managing and editing your site very easy. You can select site settings, And this will bring up a number of options. It's the global colors towards the top. I'll select that. We give it a few more seconds. It is slow and cumbersome. It's one of the nuisance things about Elementor, I guess, and there are a lot of issues. So these are global colors, system colors and custom colors, and we apply a large number of custom colors to your website. You will go through and add your own. You never want to hard code a color. That said, I guess there are occurrences or occasions where we've hard-coded a color for specific reasons in your site. If we've done that in the past, that was probably done years ago. But that will change. We don't like hard-coded colors because it's difficult to change. You actually have to edit a page, and it's a nuisance. It's much easier editing from this particular panel here because it gives you a better indication of what the color is rather than the small little box icon here to the right. If you want to change a specific color, for example, primary color, which applies to the banner at the top of your site, the menu banner, you can select this here and that will change. One of the advantages of doing it from within Elementor is you do see this immediate color change, so you get that tactile feedback, but it is a pain getting into Elementor in the first place. So what we've done is we've created this facility. I just want to point out here, because I'm going to come back to this. There's a couple of things in there I want to have a look at. Okay, we've created this. So you select your website, select this option. Now this retrieves the values directly from your website in real time. So there's no information saved to Yabber in this case. And the reason for that is it's such a dynamic environment. Your colors will change. You'll apply colors to your website. And if we pull up a saved profile within Yabber, it won't necessarily reflect the change and so on. So this retrieves the values from your website and just displays them. So here's that primary color we were looking at before. You notice if we select a color, it's not going to update anything in real time. It's just effectively a hard-coded color, a hard-coded global color. And then the custom colors. The custom colors are fairly significant, and there is a large number of them. Now, an advantage of having the system in Yabber is we can categorize these, and we will categorize these, but we're not going to do so until we've migrated any color that might be fixed or a number of reasons I won't go into, but they will be categorized. So you'll have menus and footers and so on under an appropriate heading, because at the moment it's very much a mixed bag and there's no description applied to each color. So it can often be difficult to decipher what the specific color is used for. And this applies, obviously, you'll use Elementor yourself. You'll create global colors probably if you decide to jump into the back end and make some design changes yourself. So we will update that in Yabber, and that'll be available in the YY framework. We've taken that to our think tank and just dumped it on them and said, what do you want? How do you want it presented? And so on. And we've come back with about 15 suggestions or so that we'll probably implement. But at the same time, as well as updating global colors, we'll have a facility to update global fonts, excuse me, and all other changes on your site. So all we're going to do here, if we look at this demo site again, we've got this funny green background. Let's make it ridiculous, make it red. You'd never have a red banner. That's the only color we're going to change. Scroll down to the bottom, green button. It is updated immediately, so this will make the changes on your website and purge the Elementor cache. So we'll save that. And we'll come back here. I'll refresh this page. And when it comes back, we're going to have a horrible red banner towards the top. Give it a few seconds. With the screen recording, it does slow down my PC to a snail pace. So unfortunately, that's the world I live in. So most of these changes are made in real time. There are certain elements such as buttons that are not part of the Elementor global system, but that will probably change. We're looking at kind of how we can modify the architecture I'll stick a really dark green back in there because I'm not going to leave red. Just, it's upsetting. So yeah, we're looking at different ways of managing some of the internal assets because quite frankly, a lot of people don't update, for example, the accordion styles and so on as they probably need to. And we are introducing a shortcut to that where you just simply update one color and that will be reflected globally within a whole bunch of different assets such as headings and lender widgets and buttons and things like that. So anyway, you can just expect some changes to be applied. This facility, as far as I'm concerned, we've always had it. We haven't always applied it to the standard clients, only because at one point we felt there was a need to provide a whole bunch of different features for all our managed guys, so they felt like they were getting enhanced features for the premium that they pay every month for a different level of support and everyday kind of support. But we are migrating all the old platinum features back into the standard Yabber system. So, and this is one of them. However, you can expect, like I said, a whole bunch of other standard, like the global fonts. We're working with that in typography, and buttons probably won't apply, but a whole bunch of different things here we will apply back into the standard framework. Now, we might make one more change. Blog title color, a lot of these do not change. So if you make the change and nothing happens, it means it's a retired color. Lender widget interest, for example, we generally use our standard palette styles for the lender widgets, but we are thinking, at least considering, migrating the system back into Elementor. Like everything, just because it might be easier. And if we categorize all these colors that are not categorized in any way by default, it will make it far, far easier to manage specific resources. We might be able to have different panels for different parts of your site and so on. So you can just expect it all to change. There's one particular aggregator, by the way, who wanted to see this system. We took it to them because they've got, you know, they get probably 30 complaints every week that they can't update certain sections of their website. We took this to them and showed them, hey, you should be able to update not just colors, but virtually anything. And I can't imagine a world where you don't have the capacity to do this sort of thing. But unfortunately, that world exists outside our own ecosystem. So anyway, so there's a whole bunch of items here. If the change is not made, then at some point, then that item will be removed. Remember, this is updating or retrieving values from your website in real time. So we'll go through and install different color profiles and things, so, or remove them from your website, so they just won't be shown. But there are a lot of colors here that do apply. All the footer values apply, the footer header text color, the footer background color, which is a light gray. If I just pull up the website here, it's going to show a very light gray. That's that. There's the footer privacy bar color, which is the color down here underneath the footer, and so on. So all those things can be changed if you need them to change. If you've got any questions or inquiries, discover any bugs or want any features or anything at all, by all means give me a call on 0400 777 300 or send me a text message. Our office number is 1300 235 433, and our website beliefmedia.com.au. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.